If it's 1619 and a boat is crossing the Atlantic, I am one of the people chained in the belly of that boat. That's American history. One of the biggest ports that brought enslaved people to this country sits right in Virginia. It was a gateway through which human lives were destroyed. They were dehumanized. Slavery informs everything about America. When I was young, you go into a lot of Black homes and you're gonna see two pictures on the wall. You're gonna see Martin Luther King and you're gonna see Malcolm X, both of them, because they're both powerful representations of a movement for liberation.
No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
The visual images of people marching peacefully in the South against dogs and hoses.
And as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead.
Malcolm was an individual who had survived deprivation, right, in life and then in prison.
And the objective is to bring about a condition that will guarantee respect and recognition of the 22 million Black Americans as human beings.
Now, this is very laudable, but how?
Well, by any means necessary.
By any means, to me, means doing whatever we need to do to ensure justice in this moment in history. We know how to achieve safety. We do it in affluent white communities every day. Safety looks like investment. It's gonna be media, it's gonna be policy work, it's gonna be demonstration projects, it's gonna be betting on communities of color, it's gonna be buying the buildings so that they can build the reentry program. It's gonna be whatever is necessary to see that sea change come to fruition. Public welfare partners are redefining what's possible. These are people on the ground in their own communities responding. And not because there's a spotlight on them, responding because the community demands it.
To me, by any means that we can't think too big. Safety is more than the absence of criminal harm. When people don't have anywhere to live, when people don't have food to eat, that is not a safe position to be in. And what we're really trying to do is switch to a proactive approach to policymaking instead of just reacting to the most recent headlines that usually center on a single incident or event.
The community is best suited to support return to citizens. The first 72 hours of someone's release is very critical. We have a subsidy where you can come and you can participate with consultants, get ready for a job through whether it's resume building, whether it's more knowledge.
Young folk in Black Swan Academy developed a Black youth agenda to divest in all forms of harm, policies, practices, what have you, that are in our schools, including police, and investing in a safer, more equitable learning environment.
It's important that we have a diversity of tactics because young people are diverse. They have diverse needs, and we cannot steer away from that. Their lens, their outlook in life is just as important as ours, and giving them space to see their dreams unfold and letting them make that decision for themselves.
At the People's Advocacy Institute, we pay bail for those that are lingering in jail. We ensure that they have the access and ability to make it back to court. Mississippi Prison Reform Coalition comes from the uprisings that occurred in Mississippi prisons in 2019. So, for example, our Strong Arms of Jackson program came directly from a crime and safety assembly.
Strong Arms of Jackson is a creditor mercenary initiative. I got life on parole right now. People who involved in the street, they don't want to hear from no people who ain't never been through what they've been through. trying to do with these kids when they come is teach them how to love themselves first. And I believe that's the key to making better decisions in your life. Man, people deserve a second chance.
I feel like it takes anyone with any type of emotional connection to the kid. You might be the only thing in between them going to jail for the rest of their life or continuing on to have a long, joyful life.
It's very important that we allow them to be themselves and be creative. We want to hold them accountable, but we want to give them the necessary tools for them to reach their full potential.
What we do at Participatory Defense, we are half support group and half tactical strategists. So giving them strategies from experiences that we've all had, having been justice involved ourselves, to show up in court for them so they're not alone. Being able to get one of our loved ones to check on one of their loved ones. Those are some of the things we do best, empowering everyday citizens that are justice involved to fight for their freedom.
We measure our success by the amount of time that we save someone, opposed to the amount of time that they serve.
We save lives by saving time.
The whole criminal justice and youth justice systems have failed youth. No one person, no one system, no one entity can do it alone. It really takes a collective effort.
If we are not providing opportunities, safety, housing, resources, socializing opportunities to our young people, then we're failing.
Every dollar you spend on the police is a dollar you're not spending somewhere else. And part of our job is pushing back on that and actually saying, like, actually, are there other ways we can do this? We're asking for participatory budgeting to put the power back into people's hands.
It is that investment in communities. It is that investment in the services and the support and the brilliance and the genius of community members to develop their own solutions.
In my office, there is a picture of my grandmother that sits behind me. And I keep her there intentionally. One, because I think she has my back, but because I think we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Some days the thing that helps me get out of bed in the morning is thinking of Rakia Lamuma standing in the middle of the street in Mississippi against that tide. It's thinking of Hassan Latif standing in the middle of the street in Colorado against that tide. It's thinking of Marquesa Tucker in Milwaukee standing against that tide. Nobody's coming to save us. Those are the leaders that we're waiting for. We gotta invest in them. We gotta give them all the fuel and protection that they need. I do think that the tide of history is gonna rise to meet us. When that generation runs across that line and scores freedom, they're gonna be my wildest dreams. 30 years from now, those kids, they're gonna be the manifestation of my wildest dreams.